Hello and good morning and welcome to Eurovisionary. I'm John and I'm here to report on day 3 of the rehearsals for the Eurovision Song Contest 2013. Today we're going to see the first 8 songs in the second semi-final that takes place next Thursday. They're all performing in the right order this time, unlike yesterday. So I hope you enjoy what you see. As ever, you can read more about it on Eurovisionary.com. There's more on our Facebook page and on our Twitter feed. Our first country to rehearse today was Latvia. It's an interesting song. There aren't many lyrics to it, but it's a very fun song. It's upbeat, it's uplifting. It's as good a way as any to open a semi-final. So we've got a pair on stage, pair on stage. The duo, they're joined by 2 guys. I'll come to them later. Pair themselves are both in shiny suits. One's sort of in a black shiny suit with sparkly bits on it, and the other guy is in a silver suit that just shimmers when they move around. The 2 guys backing them are both playing sort of guitar-y type instruments. One of those is like a keyboard on a stick, on a thing around his neck. You've probably seen this sort of thing before. So it's all very jolly. It's a very disco-y sort of backdrop, sort of blues and blacks and silvers. During the course of the song, they bounce around a lot. They move all around the stage. For the last chorus, they sort of robotically walk down the catwalk, and then they finish on the front bit of the stage at the end of the song. We're not sure whether they're going to use it on the night, but one of the guys even did a bit of crowd surfing. I don't know how that would work next Thursday if there's not people there to take him, but we'll have to see how it works. All in all, a good opening to the day, a good rehearsal. Marino was second to rehearse today, and this is one of the most eagerly awaited rehearsals of the day, basically because of the pedigree. Ralph Siegel's written it, Valentina Moneta's singing it, and that was San Marino's attempt last year. How did they get on? Well, if you remember the video, there's a lot of the elements of the video actually in the song. She starts on the stage with a large luminous ball that she sings about. She's dressed in a dark, long dark gown. She's backed by a couple of backing dancers who are dressed similarly that writhe around the floor as well. It's a very dark background and it's very, very moody, which suits that part of the song. As we all know, the tempo completely changes about 2/3 of the way through, and for that part, she's standing up. The black gown is thrown off to reveal a striking red dress, floor-length red dress. Again, the backing dancers do exactly the same. She belts this one out. It is really good. It was really good on screen. In the Euro Club here, it's probably just as good in the arena, which we'll see in a couple of days' time. I think this one will go through. It has all the right elements. The change in tempo works. It's sailing through. I think it's sailing through. But what do I know? After the fun and games of San Marino, we went completely in the opposite direction with something ethnic from the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. As you know, we've got Esma and Lozano, and they sing different parts of the song. Slow, up tempo, slow, up tempo. The same. They've not rearranged it much at all. Lozano has switched to English for his parts of the song. He was there in a dark blue jacket and red jeans. I'm not sure whether that look actually works, but it is only the rehearsal. He sings his part, and then Esma walks on stage, and she's in a long dark dress and a matching headdress, and she the turbo folk element of this is actually the bit that I really prefer on this one. They then do that all again for the second verse and chorus, and then they just switch to Macedonian for the remainder of the song. I'm not sure whether the English part works. The Macedonian part definitely does. I've got used to hearing it in Macedonian, which is probably why. I think they need to switch back to Macedonian for this. It didn't come together that well, but after all, this is only the first rehearsal. Whether it will qualify, I think it's borderline at the moment. I'd like to see it, but I think it's borderline. But we've got another rehearsal in a few days' time to get a better opinion. The final country to rehearse this morning, in this morning session of the 4, was Azerbaijan. Another eagerly awaited, very eagerly awaited song. and it didn't disappoint. It was like you sat down and watched it, and you just could not take your eyes off the screen for 3 minutes. Now, if that's not going to be in the mix, I don't know what is. So what do we have? Just a very dark backdrop again, although it doesn't really play much of a part into this song. Farid is in a grey shirt, grey waistcoat and grey trousers, and starts singing on a box, a clear plastic box. It's about 2 meters high, give or take, or 6 foot high. He starts singing this, and then in the box there is a guy who's similarly dressed but in black rather than grey, and he mirrors the movements of Farid. So at one point he's stood on his head, he's climbing up the side of the box, pressed against the box. It is just interesting, different. You just can't take your eyes off this. And then at some point during the song, a girl in a long red dress with a very long train appears, with a very odd sort of spinal effect on the back of the dress. He then proceeds to sing to her. The guy in the box is doing his bit. It is just one of those things you just cannot take your eyes off for the whole 3 minutes, because you don't necessarily know what's coming next. This is absolutely going to sail through to the final. It's going to get the requisite number of votes. It could even win the second semi-final, going by this performance. Even his vocals are pretty much there, and there's very little work. So in general, we're through the 4 here. Azerbaijan is definitely going through. Welcome back. We've all just had a nice lunch break before we crack on with the next 4 rehearsals this afternoon. First on is Finland, which we've just seen. Bit of a standout performance, this one. It's certainly one that's going to get noticed. It's got everything thrown at it. Krista is in a white wedding dress, as you would expect for a song like this. At one point during the song, she dons this huge white veil that goes back an awful long way. There's a lot of fabric in it. She's backed by 2 girls in red and white dresses. They look a little bit sort of plastic PVC to me. And then she's got 3 female backing dancers that are dressed in suits and have black masks on. It all moves along very well. She sells it very well. She's good with the camera. The backdrop flashes between like just general bright colours and one of those US signs. It just says Krista Ding Dong on it, because she's dancing with the Ding Dong Girls, of course. Towards the end of the song, we get one of the backing singers. She moves around, and she appears to be the one that Krista is proposing to. Shock horror, I hear you cry. But no, it's all done in good fun, and they end with a big sloppy kiss with no tongues. After Finland had rehearsed, we then moved on to Malta. A jolly little number that you can't help but just smile along when you hear it and see it. If you remember the performance Gianluca did in the national final, then it's a very similar sort of thing. He's dressed very similarly: white shirt, waistcoat, trousers, pale trousers. He's got 2 female backing singers, one of whom is one of his many sisters. And then in his band, he's got a guy playing a guitar, a guy playing a small ukulele, and a guy playing a drum. It all sort of it's good. It's all a feel good factor there. He moves around the stage well. He doesn't stay in one place very long, but that's obviously his style. Towards the end of the song, he moves back down the catwalk and sings from there. I think while that's happening, the stagehands come and place a bench stage left. And when he goes back to where all his band are, they've all converged on this bench, sort of how they were sat as in the preview video in the park. I think it's really good. He comes across really well. It's all very warm and bouncy. If you want to sing along, the words are on the backdrop behind him. A video of it was released some time ago, just after his win and it's on YouTube. I think this is going through to the final, and there's a bit of talk that, who knows, it could be the Olsen brothers all over again. Our 3rd rehearsal of the day was those old hands, Elitsa and Stoyan from Bulgaria. As we remember, they did really well when they were in the contest a few years ago. And they're back with a very, very similar sort of song. There's the first thing you'll notice is there's lots of drums, drums in front of him, drums behind him, drums behind her. There's just drums everywhere. They've got 3 women backing them who are in traditional Bulgarian dress. They provide, it's a very, they enhance the production that's there already. We've also got a guy who comes on playing some Balkan bagpipes during the first part of the song, but he's in a hoodie top and a baseball cap, so you can't actually see what he looks like. They move along really well, they interact together well, Elitsa and Stoyan do. They move to the drum kits, they play lots of drums. You'll know the sort of thing from when they perform Voda. This time they've got luminous drumsticks which they use to play each other's drums from time to time. Towards the end of the song you get the guy who was obviously playing the bagpipes earlier, he's got rid of the bagpipes and he's put on a big mask, the sort of black, grey and white feathery construction. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how it fits in with the song. It may be a bit lost on some of the viewers out there and just look as a bit, yeah, what on earth's going on here? However, they know what they're doing. We know they did good last time. Bulgaria probably made a very shrewd choice in picking them to sing again. It may need a bit of work doing on it, but they've got another rehearsal to come towards the end of the week, so we'll see what happens then. Will it get through? I'm not sure yet. And so we've reached the end of day 3 with the final rehearsal, which was Iceland. Now Iceland, it's a good song. It's a good song. It's a very brave move to sing in Icelandic, as it's the first time they've done in about 15 years, I understand. But for a song like that, I actually think it really does work. Eyþór, apologies to any Icelandic viewers there if I've got his name wrong. Eyþór, he's wearing similar sort of clothes that he wore for the national final. He's obviously thinking, why change it? Why change a winning combination? He does experiment with like jacket on, jacket off. They're obviously just finding out how it all works with that. He's got 4 backing singers. They're sort of modestly placed out the way, and they're in shadow, but they're in dark clothing anyway. The backdrop has got a very sea-going sort of theme, sort of to go in with the preview video that you will have seen. There's lighthouses, there's fishing boats, there's fishermen's huts, that sort of thing. So we've got a very sea-going sort of vibe going on here. He does it really well. His performance, his vocals were nailed spot on any time. It's one of those songs where he's got it right so far. They don't really need to do that much work to it just to polish it. But they're obviously just seeing what the stage looks like today. As it was the last rehearsal of the day, it got a big round of applause, but it's a good song anyway. Will it qualify? I'd like to see it qualify, but the only possible doubt is how it will come across in Icelandic. But nevertheless, it's a good song, and we all hope it does very well. So you've now seen the first 8 songs from the second semi-final of the Eurovision Song Contest 2013. They've all had their first rehearsal. They'll have a second one in a few days' time. Tomorrow is day 4, and we see 9 songs tomorrow, because there are 17 songs in this semi-final. 9 songs tomorrow. You'll get the same sort of thing. Stuff from me on what I think of the songs. There's stuff from our team, our very good team, on Eurovisionary.com. There's the Facebook page, there's a Twitter feed. You can follow all the action on this website. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. I'd like to thank you all for continuing to watch all this.